Hi everyone. It is so good to be talking to you all, even though I can't see your beautiful faces. I hope and pray that you're keeping well, and I can't wait to see you all soon. Today's story is called the Transfiguration. Such a long word. It means to change into something more beautiful, more holy, and this is exactly what Jesus did. One day, Jesus took Peter, James and John up a mountain to pray. They prayed for a long time, and after a while, Peter and the others fell asleep. They tended to do this when they prayed for a while. While they were sleeping, Jesus continued to pray. And as he did, the most amazing thing happened. He started to shine. His clothes became a dazzling white, as bright as lightning, and his face changed. Imagine seeing this. You would probably think you were dreaming. Not only was Jesus shining like the sun, the Bible tells us there were two men with him, also shining in glorious splendour. Moses and Elijah were with Jesus, talking with him. They were talking about Jesus' death and what it was going to mean. Moses and Elijah were great men who lived hundreds and hundreds of years before Jesus. Moses was chosen by God to lead his people out of slavery and to tell them how he wanted them to live. Elijah was a prophet, and God chose him to tell people what he wanted them to know. These men played a very important role in preparing the way for Jesus, and now they were all together. Crazy! Well, if you didn't think you were dreaming before, I bet you would now. Peter, James and John were now fully awake and couldn't believe what they were seeing. I can picture the scene in my head, and I can see Peter flapping about on top of the mountain, not having a clue what to do. He started talking. He said to Jesus that it was good that they were there, and he offered to build 3 shelters on top of the mountain. What they needed 3 shelters for, I have no idea. It says in the Bible that Peter didn't know what he was saying. I imagine he was so scared or shocked that he just started speaking. He wanted to do something, but he had no idea what. As Peter was talking, a bright cloud covered them all. A voice spoke to them, and I bet you know who that was. Yep, it was God, and he said the most amazing thing to them. He said, "This is my son whom I love. Listen to him." In other words, stop flapping, stop talking, stop trying to do something, and just listen to Jesus. The disciples fell to the ground, terrified, and when they looked up, Jesus was alone. He came over to them and he put his hands on them and he said, "Get up, don't be afraid." Jesus knew that the disciples were afraid. He understood how they must have felt, and he wanted to comfort them and assure them. He was there. I love this. I love that Jesus does exactly the same thing for us. He understands how we feel. He reaches out to us to comfort us and to let us know he is always there. As Jesus, Peter, James and John made their way down the mountain, Jesus told them not to tell anyone what they had seen. Peter and the others knew that something incredible had happened on top of the mountain, but they didn't understand what. They did what God told them to do, though. They listened. They listened to Jesus' stories, how he talked to people, often people that others wouldn't talk to. Then, after a while, Peter understood what it meant. He realised who Jesus truly was and is, the King of all kings. We are all going through a tough time at the minute, but this tough time has given us all a chance to stop. We have had to stop hockey, stop football, stop rugby, even stop school. And although these things are all really good, sometimes they stop us from listening to Jesus. They get in the way. It took something unbelievable to make Peter stop babbling on top of the mountain And when he came down, he listened. Can we do the same? Can we stop the flapping? Stop wanting to try and fix everything ourselves? Can we stop and listen to Jesus? God has provided us with a real opportunity to listen to him. He has slowed life way down. And although it's been tough and challenging, it's a perfect chance for us to listen. And that's my prayer for you all. Mummies and daddies, everybody. Stop, be still, and listen. Thank you.